Mark, if I can just start, just briefly looking back, I don't think you were that happy last time out. Have you discussed that this week, or have you just moved on from Leicester?
Yeah, look, I think we weren't happy with the result. But actually the performance, we got frustrated more than anything. They played a very high line, and we knew how to beat it, but we just chose the wrong options at the wrong time. So we of course we have to address it. It's a learning curve. So if we play against a team that has a really high line, this is how you beat it. And I felt that we had so much control of the game, but we've got to convert it by not being offside in the right positions. And the 2 goals came from exactly where we knew they'd come from. And it was frustrating, the nature of the goals that we conceded. But that's part of the game, and it's something that we will keep discussing. You know, we'll discuss if we feel we could be better, we'll have honest conversations with ourselves. But we don't just need to have that if we lose or draw. We have to do it when we win and celebrate the wins when we do them. So, yeah, we were frustrated in that game, but we've for sure got down to work and had conversations about it and ironed it out.
Now for the long trip to Brighton, how's the squad looking? Have you got any issues?
We've currently got Martha, Harris and Jackie will still be out and potentially out until after Christmas. But we'll be continuously working and they should be close after then to regain and rejoin the team. So that's good. We made sure that they're going to come back healthy and strong so that we can use their qualities for the next part of the year. We've had a few niggles in training, but we're assessing everyone. Got another training session tomorrow.
Yeah, a 3-game week to end the year, the calendar year. Brighton, Everton, Villa. Are you going to need to use the squad a little bit? Is it too much for the same team to play every game?
It is. It's too much. It's too much, and we need to recognise where we are in the half of the season. You know, if this first half of the season, we need to make sure that we can put out fresh legs in each game, because I think that's the important thing. Against Leicester, we also had, you know, some issues with terms of we had quite an impactful international window where we came back with a few niggles. So it was important that we can now get as many people fresh for these 3 games, and they're going to be 3 different challenges to which we want to engage as much as we can and try and take maximum points out of them. But we know the challenges that we face, and we've got to dig in and we've got to be strong, and we've got to make sure we put our best performances out in each game.
It's tight below the top 2. Brighton the third.
Yes.
But only 3 points ahead. But is that a surprise, having Brighton in third, or how do you think?
Definitely not a surprise. I think they've built on a few seasons now of work that Hope's been doing there. So it's not a surprise. It doesn't surprise me. But that is even more incentive to put our best performances against them and try and take the points. So we're in a good run of form. I know they lost the last fixture, but they're going to be a tough opponent. They're at home, and we need to go and pay the respect they deserve, but also put what we can on the game to make sure that we take the points, because it's an important game for us, as they all are. But it's going to be a tough opponent, and we need to give the best of ourselves to take the points.
And you mentioned Hope Powell in charge. How important a figure do you think she is in the women's game?
She's a huge figure, and for us, I have nothing but respect for Hope in terms of all the things that she's achieved in the game. And you know, I've been privileged to be part of the women's game for long enough where I knew her as the England manager as well. So yeah, I think she's reinventing herself as she goes throughout her coaching career as well. And so, no, she's a great figure for the women's game, and someone I have a lot of respect for. But come game day, you know, I'm pretty sure she'd want to beat us as much as we want to beat her. So I think it's going to be tough. She's very, very experienced, but we have to go there and try and unpick her well-organised teams.
When you look at the table as we approach the sort of the midway point, there is a gap between the top 2 and the rest. Do you think that's right? Do you think they are, as we stand, the outstanding teams?
I think that they've produced and worked over a period of time to gain a squad that is worthy of those positions. I think it's the depth that helps them. They can rotate international players, and if you want to maintain success on all fronts, then you have to have a squad that has their depth. And And so that's all credit to the work that they've done, and something, you know, we're going to continue to work towards here to get the squad depth that means we can compete on those levels. There's no doubt, we can get to a performance where we're exceptional. But the consistency of that means that you have to have people that challenge each other every day and that you feel like you want to fight for your position because you know that nothing's guaranteed. And I think that's where they've got a very delicate balance. But for us, we're going to continue to work towards that. And so, regardless of where they're at, they've proven that they are in those positions because they've got the results. Because you know their squad depth will definitely help them do that.
I mean, finally, our year ends with Brighton, Everton, and Villa this week. Mm-hmm. How important is it to go into the little break with a positive set of results?
It is. It's hugely important. I think we set out every game to try and take the points. There's no doubt about that, regardless of the opponent that we play. If we turn a couple of the draws into wins, it looks totally different. I think we'd actually be sitting in third place. Outright on third place. So we need to continue to do that. We need to continue to develop our way of playing as well as chasing. I listen to coaches quite often talk about chase the process, and the results are part of that process. When you just try and adapt to take the result in that moment, you never really then have longevity. So for us, we're going to continue to work the process and then tweak and adjust and continue to develop our aggressive nature to take the points.